better update of who is out and who is in for tonight's game. And then we'll kind of hopefully get you squared away on that. Let me get to some highlights. Let's get to some highlights of Desmond Bane, right? Let's talk about that. The Portland game just a couple nights ago. A great matchup for this team. You know this what happened in November. Desmond Bane, he hit that game-winning shot. Well, I mean, he does it again, and he was able to just have a great performance. Second night of a back-to-back, coming off that tough loss against the Warriors. The team, they said they got outworked in that game, but they outworked the Trailblazers in the very next game. Desmond Bane, 23 points, 17 points going into the half. He had that block against Donovan Clingan that was pretty much the play of the night. Also had a couple clutch free throws that really helped seal the deal. So a pretty solid road trip for Desmond Bane. Averaged 20.3 points per game during that 4-game road trip. And of course, that thrilling game came down to the fourth quarter. I wish the Magic would have just put it away early in the third and early in the fourth, but it was that fourth quarter performance from him and the team that helped them get the win. So you see it right there, 23 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists for Desmond Bane in that game. Such a great performance from him, and the way he's been able to help command this team, the way he's been able to help facilitate, the way that he's been able to just take his leadership with this team has been so good. So good things to happen for Desmond Bane for sure. But we also, when we talk about Desmond Bane, you got to talk about Tyus and you got to talk about AB and the way that they performed in that game as well. AB right out the gate had such a strong game, and I felt like it was a good comeback game for him as well. He also has had a really good road trip so far with this Magic squad. He does better on the road too. We'll get to his numbers in a little bit, but I will say he has, his numbers wise, does a lot better on the road. And it makes sense. He's coming in as a starter on this road trip, so that it kind of makes sense for him. 22 points for AB, 4 from 8 from beyond the arc. He was one of 5 starters that ended in double figures. We got to talk about the stats on the road. Averaged more than 20 points per game in that 4-game road trip. 4 assists. Scored 20 or more in 3 of the 4 games. This season, he's averaging more than 16 points per game on the road compared to the 11 that he has at home. And of course, you know, he had to start these past road games because of Jalen Suggs being out, so we get that. When you still look at the minutes, though, minutes played on the road, 30 minutes at home, more than 28. So he's still getting a good amount of time on the court and showcasing his ability, but he is getting significantly more minutes on the road. Rightfully so, you get it. Like, you have a start, like I just said, Jalen Suggs was out, so you have Anthony Black coming in. Coach Mosley talked about that next man up mentality and said that when you have guys like AB who understand it, and he said this team has a history with injuries. So you understand that you kind of have to have guys really come in and help out. I'm going to get to some of your comments. Trying to get to our YouTube. Okay, here we go. There we go. All right, guys. Let me get to some of our YouTube comments. Ooh, I like this. Am I right? Bane should be definitely an all-star moment. Well, hey, guys, let me tell you. You guys can vote. So starting to get ready for that. Don't you forget. You can vote for these guys. Merry Christmas to you all. I hope you guys all had a wonderful holiday. Happy holidays. Tristan is available for tonight's game. Yes. Beat Mellow Ball. Ooh, someone said they'll be in Indy. Like that. We're going to Indiana real soon. So definitely like that you guys are going to be here. More comments from you guys. More happy holidays. Love that. AB knocking him down. Yes, he is. Orlando Magic. Oh, someone's singing the song as we welcome you inside. Courtside Countdown presented by Hard Rock Bet. The one and only Dan Savage joining. Dan, I missed you.
I missed you too. You know, I had to do a few of these on the road by myself, so it's great to just step into your normal role.
Yes.
As many players on the Magic are hoping to do as Tristan da Silva slides back and forth.
Yes,
tonight.
we just had someone saying Tristan is available, and that's really exciting, and I know we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But before we do, I want to ask you, how are your holidays? Did you enjoy yourself?
Yeah, it went by too fast.
I know it did.
That's the thing about playing those late games on the West Coast time, the night before Christmas Eve, that as soon as you come into Christmas Eve, that day's like chopped up.
It is. No,
So-
you're right. You're right.
So it went by fast, but excited to be back and have the team at home here in Kia Center. and then go on the upcoming trips with you.
I know. I cannot believe it. We were literally about to pack. I will say, I did laundry on Christmas. I know you're supposed to just enjoy yourself, celebrate, but I was like, when do I have the time to do that? So I did all my laundry during Christmas. Okay, I want to get to some of everyone's comments real quick. Hornets low on centers today. Take advantage of that.
That's a good point right there.
That is a good point. We'll have to get to that one. Do smart plays. Tough defense, offense lock in. Love that. I saw Mo putting up shots, getting closer to a full team back. We'll talk about that a little bit. I do want to talk a little bit, though, about Paolo Banchero and his last game. One thing I love that Jeff Turner said during our broadcast, he was just like, I'm tired of the narrative around P. The guy wants to win games. You're going to want to be a winner. And Coach Mosley said it too. It doesn't always matter about how much he stuffs the stat sheet, as long as he's helping this team win. And I think we saw that. I mean, you had the alley-oop with Wendell. You had some moments where he was facilitating. What did you like about the way he was playing on the road?
No, the way I like about Paolo is he's not trying to overforce anything.
Yeah.
There are some players in this league that are so concerned with stats that even if they're, reacclimating, trying to come in with the way the team's playing, and that defenses are overloading to them, that they would come and try to force up shots just to put up numbers.
Yeah.
Paolo's not about hollow stats at all, and instead is creating for others and trying to make their life easier. So that's what I like about Paolo. He's become such a great table setter as a player, and as guys come back into the lineup like Tristan da Silva tonight, eventually Franz Wagner, Jalen Suggs, teams won't be able to overload like they are to him right now, and the stats will come, his legs will get back underneath him, and we'll see the high-end Paolo Banchero that he's capable of.
You see his numbers right there.
Which are still pretty dang good.
I know. Here's the thing. For someone who is out and is not doing everything you want him to do, his numbers are really good so far this season. I think that's the point that Magic fans need to look at, is what he's been able to do. And I have to say also, we're going to talk a little bit about the Charlotte Hornets team, but even then, he was teetering on a triple-double in that game as well, flirting with that one. He got one in Denver, flirted again with it on this road trip. You guys, Paolo Banchero is doing what this team needs to be done to help the team in general.
No, I think people get so caught up in the silo of just watching one team that they lose picture of what it's like throughout the NBA. We saw one of the greatest players of all time, LeBron James, go out for a bit, how it affected him when he first came back, and that's a guy who's been doing it for decades.
Yeah.
If you need another example of a younger player, just look right behind us as LaMelo Ball works up. He's been up and down as he's dealt with injuries this season. So, statistically, it doesn't always come back right away, as impatient as today's media landscape is. But in my opinion, Paolo's looked really good cerebrally with the way he's seeing the game, the way he's setting up others. And look, he'd love to knock down more shots, but he's having a great impact on the game regardless. And the team's been able to rack up wins with him at the helm because of the way he's seeing the game.
He sure is. And, what's been really good is having guys slowly come back from injury. That's going to be necessary. We didn't have Tristan da Silva on this road trip, but you have him now, which is a great thing for this Magic squad. Talking a little bit about Shootaround, let's listen to some of the Shootaround sound from today.
Ramp back up after, coming off the West Coast trip. What were some of the keys and focuses of Shootaround today?
We just went back to the details of the work. So offensively, just finding the right spacing. We got to get our sprint game back together, getting early, easy baskets, understanding how teams have been playing us, on this trip. Then defensively, just, the team that we're going to face tonight, just our communication's got to be at a high level. The details of what we're doing are going to be so very important.
How are you feeling, and how's it going with everything that you've been dealing with?
Yeah, I feel good. I gave my shoulder a little bit to calm down. It's just something I've been dealing with for a little bit, so I'm just glad that I finally took the time to kind of, settle back down and get things recentered with myself. So I feel good, and I'm excited. I'm excited to step out there again.
How valuable is it? You mentioned having bodies back, but with Tristan specifically, someone that you can rely on defensively a quality shooter. How important is it to kind of get him back into the flow of things to kind of re-spark the fast breaking and re-spark some of the defense that maybe got waned a little bit during the road trip?
I really think it's key for him. The way he was playing, prior to that shoulder bothering him, I think his confidence level, his attacking the basket, defensively being positionally in the right spaces, knocking shots down, all those are big key to how we play offensively, and he's a big part of that. So getting him back in the fold healthy is very important for us.
As we welcome you back inside the Kia Center, you're watching Courtside Countdown presented by Hard Rock Bet, Kendra Douglas and Dan Savage. So you heard just Coach Mosley and Tristan da Silva talking about getting back into the groove of everything. For Tristan, he is a guy that you would have loved to see on this road trip because there were some moments that you really did need him. So what can he provide for this team tonight against this Hornet squad?
I think the big thing about Tristan is when Franz Wagner's out, he plays in a similar fashion. He's not an identical player. He doesn't give you as much at the defensive end, but he is a great relocation shooter, and so you have that. So he's another playmaking forward that can go out there, space the floor alongside Paolo Banchero, and when his shoulder's right, his shot level is high.
Yeah.
And, he's able to go out there and defend as well. So he gives you another wing defender that you need and additional spacing around Paolo to help make his life easier. So I think his addition is going to be a big one. Plus, he's another second-year player, and it's really hard to play a number of first-year guys or inexperienced guys like Jet, Noah, Jace all together. He gives you another look as you're down still a number of bodies.
I love that you said that because you got to remember what he did when Paolo was down. He was tremendous to help
absolutely.
out. So it goes back again to the whole next man up mentality. And Coach Mosley joked about it. I was telling them before you got on, Coach Mosley joked, this team has a history of injuries. So it's very important for players to understand that your name can get called at any point of the season. And so one thing I think that Tristan has done has settled in, find his rhythm, found his groove a little bit. So it should be good to see him, get back into action and for tonight's game. All right, more comments from you guys. I like this one. Con Knipple may be a rookie, but he is in the game plan for sure. I think that's absolutely that's going to be a guy to look out for. Someone said, Hornets are no joke. We just have to win. Smart plays, tough on offense, and the defense needs to lock in. I like that you're saying that. So let's talk about this Hornets squad. So the last time that the Magic played them, what was interesting was that the Magic did not have a great start going into the season. But the last time they played them, that really helped jumpstart them, I would say. To play that game, what did you notice maybe in that game? And was that kind of like a transcending moment for the Magic? Because they ended up winning, their next 11 out of 15 after that?
Yeah, absolutely. That was a jumpstart moment for the Magic. And shortly after that, a number of games later, right around Thanksgiving, the Hornets kind of had one of those come to terms with their type of season where they won only 4 games early on. They had lost every clutch game that the Hornets were in early in the season. They were the last team in the NBA to win a clutch game. And instead, since that time and moving forward, the Hornets have won 6 of their last 12. They're much more of a 500 team than their record indicates at 10-20. Winning 6 of their last 12, have won 4 of their last 6 clutch games. So they've really started to find themselves, and guys like LaMelo Ball being back in the lineup, Con Knipple really establishing himself as a starting level rookie in this league has helped with that. So they're a lot better than their record indicates.
They sure are. You mentioned LaMelo Ball. Let's talk about him real quick. He scored in double figures in 3 of the last 4 games, 5 of 6 from the line against in this last game on December 23rd. So he's someone that likes to facilitate a lot as well. 13 assists in that December 18th game against the Hawks. And on top of that, in those last 4 games, he's coming back from an injury from his ankle. So you're still getting kind of more of a refreshed LaMelo Ball in this game tonight.
Yeah, he's a guy that averages close to double-digit assists. So when you look at the way the Hornets play and the way that LaMelo Ball affects them, the Hornets are top 5 in the NBA in both drives and points off those drives. And a big factor in that is LaMelo Ball getting downhill and then spraying out and passing. So you look at for the Hornets team, they're also top 6 in both three-point attempts and 3 points made. And it's really LaMelo Ball that's the catalyst of that. Driving into the painted area, drawing a lot of gravity, and kicking out to open shooters much like Paolo Banchero can at times, really taking advantage of his gravity and finding open shooters. And he's currently benefiting assist-wise from having a guy like Con Knipple out there knocking him down, especially from the corners.
No, you're exactly right about that. He sure is. I want to get to some of your comments because I guess some people might not know yet. So is Franz Wagner injured? Yes. He got injured back when we were in New York, but he is on the mend, and we should be having him soon. Jalen Suggs also continuing to respond to treatment. Both guys, him, Franz, Mo,
Goga
Batadze, all dependent on how they respond to treatment, and that's when you're going to get them back. I have to remind you guys, and I don't mind reminding you, we have to play the long game. This Magic squad, they got to play the long game because ultimately you want to be cheering on your favorite team past April. So ideally, when you see that the guys are still out, just know that they want to get back into the groove of things. They want to help this team out, but you got to play the long game when it comes to this type of situation.
And look, sometimes when it comes to players like Franz Wagner, Jalen Suggs, Mo Wagner, etc., you got to protect the guys from themselves.
You do.
Because they are doing everything to get back out there, itching to be back out on the court. And although we've seen all of them make gradual progress, be a little bit, longer for the Wagners. But I like what I'm seeing. Mo Wagner progressing to 2-on-2, 3-on-3 play.
That's what we like to hear.
It's been great to see him working out with some of the guys post-practice sessions. Really, you just feel him when he's out there because he's such an emotional guy that whether it's a 2-on-2, 3-on-3 post-practice section, he's showing emotion and playing like the Mo Wagner you know and love.
And that's what you're excited about, and that's what you want to see. Someone said don't worry, we got AB, so Ball is going to have work for him. I can't say what you're trying to say, but I get what you're saying. But speaking of Anthony Black, we just talked about him a little bit. His performance on the road. I was talking about how he has done better on the road. He has averaging 30 minutes played on the road compared to just a little bit more than 28. But I was saying it's because, one, he's had to start. But two, I think it's still a reflection of how his growth and what he's been able to accomplish so far this year, especially in that Portland game.
Yeah, shout out to those four-season Ritz-Carlton beds that are giving AB some good rests on the road.
I know.
But no, with AB, we've spoken on this show for a long time that he's the barometer for the Magic's success, the huge X factor, because when he has energy on both ends of the floor, you feel it, and it disrupts other teams. And that's why we're seeing him have a great season so far, averaging over 14 points a game, 4.5 rebounds, close to 3.5 assists. And it's the type of level he's played at with a more consistent basis this year that has his stock trending up and has helped the Magic to so many wins.
So before I get to your storylines, I do want to ask you a little bit about, what have you liked about how the Magic have gotten to the line? So one of the things that really have helped this team out are their free throws, their attempts, and their made. They're both top 5, first and second in the league when it comes to made and second when it comes to attempts. So for them, going against this Hornet squad, how important is it going to be for them to kind of draw the foul and then also for them to stop the Magic from shooting threes?
Well, look, the Hornets play small right now as guys like Mason Plumlee and their other rookie are out as their true centers. So instead, they're starting Diabate, as one of the commenters pointed out. So they're playing much smaller. And their other guy, filling in at center, is a two-way player who they just signed recently. So there will be opportunities for the Magic to attack the basket. The Hornets are bottom 6 in points allowed in the paint, transition points. That's a huge area where the Magic can capitalize tonight.
Yeah.
If they get out and run, their defense can really fuel their offense.
I love that you said that because that's going to be really big for this Magic squad tonight. Let's get to your storylines for tonight's game. What you got for us?
Well, as always, you and the production crew have done such a great job of identifying some of these storylines. But number one, all eyes out on LaMelo Ball. That is such a key factor. As we've touched on, he is really the head of the snake offensively. If you could shut him down, if one guy can kind of stay on him and the other guys close off the lanes, you can really prevent the damaging effect of when he starts moving it and you have to help and the rotations come and you're finding open shooters because they'll take them and knock them down. 2, get out to those shooters, as we touched on. Con Knipple may be a rookie, but he's not playing like one.
Just like
At times, he's been the Hornets' best player, and he can both shoot off the kickout and create for himself. So he is one of the most dangerous shooters in the NBA, both in volume and efficiency. And lastly, being back home, reestablished that defensive identity.
Yes.
It escaped them a bit against Portland,
Woo.
but they found it late where they forced Portland to miss their last 6 shots.
Yes.
Desmond Bane got that big block.
Huge.
Need to pick up off of that because if you get stops against this Charlotte team, you could get out and run. They're vulnerable in transition.
Just want you guys, Kendra, you'll appreciate this. I'm on my 3rd cup of coffee here. I got to get some juice.
You
I
sure
still got a little jet lag.
You sure did did a Turner's turn. Because I was like, where'd he come from? I know. How are you feeling, JT?
I'm, well, after my 3rd cup of coffee, I'm not dragging as much as I was earlier. But, hey, we came home early. We got to get this one, right?
I know, we do.
Yeah.
Are you excited about the way that this Magic team could play against a Charlotte team like this that's kind of missing some guys?
Yeah, I think there's a great opportunity for us tonight. You know what's interesting is looking at the numbers, very similar to what we saw in Portland, very similar in Golden State, high volume 3-point team. You got to get back in transition, and I think the guys will be juiced being back in front of the home crowd.
There we go. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank
Merry
you,
Christmas,
JT.
you guys.
Merry Christmas, JT.
He came out of nowhere.
He turned right into that
He
one.
turned right into the corner. I was like, where did he come from? I love when JT comes and hangs out with us. Okay, someone said too, the best JT in the league. Oh, everyone's excited to see JT. Guard the 3 from LaMelo, and Wendell needs to lock in. How do you slow down a LaMelo ball? You kind of mentioned it just now.
Yeah, one, you have to be really into the basketball, kind of disrupt it before he gets it, because if he gets downhill and has a head of steam, it's hard to stop. And 2, you have to stay in front of him.
Okay.
And that's easier said than done because he could pull up and shoot the 3. But when he's at his most dangerous is when he's going downhill and either drawing fouls or kicking out the 3-point shooter. So you have to stay in front of him. And that's on guys like Anthony Black to really be able to do that. And that's a challenge without getting into foul trouble. So 1 for AB, stay in front of LaMelo. 2, don't get overly handsy because he'll draw calls.
Yeah.
And then secondly, it's up to that other set of guys to really be aware of who they're guarding and not losing guys like Con Knipple around the perimeter, because they'll be challenged with that all night.
No, I agree with you. And don't forget that you can watch tonight's game on FanDuel Sports Network, your home for the Orlando Magic. You can join Jeff Turner and the gang as they get you ready for tonight's game, and it's going to be a big one for this Magic squad, and I'm excited for them as well. Before we go and head out, your final thoughts for tonight's game, what this Magic team needs to do to come away with a win tonight.
Yeah, I would say number 1, it's play with the right level of energy. In my opinion, they're a superior team to the Hornets in a lot of areas, but you can't underestimate them because they're a team that if you fall asleep, just like they did for a little bit of stretch against the Blazers, they can knock down a high level at threes and really get the best of you. We almost had a George Galanti turn there.
We did. That would have been
I can't think of a quick
super interesting.
alliteration thing that works for George's gauntlet or something
I
like that.
One.
Or,
I like that
you know,
one. We'll work with him.
Galanti's turn doesn't work as well.
It doesn't. But I will say, I want to say this before we head out. Don't forget, Magic fans, that tonight is the first of a back-to-back. So tomorrow they'll be taking on the Denver Nuggets, and then we'll be gone for a 3-game road trip. That's going to be a tough one. Heading into the new year, we'll spend our new year in Chicago.
We'll have played New Year's Eve in Indiana, but before the new year hits, we should make it to Chicago based off that itinerary I saw.
Excited. I was like, that I want to spend my new year in. So it should be really good games for the Magic to continue to get some more wins in their win column and play against some good teams. I mean, you gotta give your credit to the way that Toronto's been playing. And,
absolutely.
And how well they've been playing so far this year. So that should be a good one. But Magic fans, thank you so much for joining us today on Courtside Countdown presented by Hard Rock Bet. Up next, you can catch the guys, Dante and the gang, as they get you ready for FanDuel Sports Magic Live, the pregame show. You would think I'd know it. I had to say it all.
I mean, you've been on it
this whole entire time, and I couldn't even think
Even
about
I
what
got
it
it
is.
right, setting you up.
I know, you did. Look, like JT, I need 3 cups of coffee. We are trying to make it work over here.
Well, hopefully the team doesn't have the same level of jet lag
I know.
as you and JT, because as they say, the hardest game of the West Coast trip
Yeah.
is the first game back.
Well, if that says anything, then we are going to see these guys come out strong because they are going to want to make sure that the jet lag did not get the best of them. Everyone probably had a really good holiday. I imagine that. Anyway, thank you guys again for joining with us. We will see you back here tomorrow as we get you ready for the game against the Denver Nuggets. We're going to have a lot of talk about that one. We got to somehow figure out how this Magic team is going to stop the Joker. That's going to be a hard one. Yeah, all right. we will be talking with you guys. But thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Give the people what they want, cause I got it. I ain't lying. Locked in, I do it just for profit. I ain't lying. Loving how I run the town just like that. I ain't lying. Loving how I break it down just like that. I ain't lying. Loving how I run the town just like that. I ain't lying. Who said they could top me? Step in the place, I steal the show. Said they had been checking for me, ain't never